Hello, welcome back. We're exploring nature with Brailley on July 18th, 2024. Over here, if you can see in the camouflage, see if you can find it. A little young snapping turtle. Here, buddy. Can you see it? This is a baby snapping turtle, and if you look on the underside of the shell, there's a little spot in the middle, a little soft white spot. Looks like there's a hole in the shell with a little membrane in it. This is actually the yolk sac that they hatch with that is bigger when they're born, but it gets absorbed into their body as they grow and it gives them nutrients. You might compare it to a belly button in humans. But the fact that this is not protruding, it's like flat but still not healed up, this turtle is probably about 5 days old, a little less than a week. So he's fresh and young. Hopefully he survives. These turtles have about a 1% survival rate, so let's wish this guy the best of luck to grow up and make more babies. Alright, we saw a baby snapping turtle, but that's what it's going to look like when it's an adult. I'm going to see how close I can get. I'm not crazy, so I'm not going to try and catch it. Because the thing is, we're in its domain now. That's an aquatic animal. It knows how to swim better than I do, so I'm not going to catch it. If it was on land, I might take a chance because I'm better on land than that turtle is. But I'll just get a little bit closer. And if I see it go underwater, I'm just going to swim as fast as I can away from it. So let's see how close we can get. Alright, so here is the common snapping turtle. I didn't want to get too close to it so as not to disturb it. They're actually not very aggressive. The alligator snapping turtles can be quite aggressive, but these guys mostly just want to run instead of fight. But it is good to just be careful around them because they can bite, and also I don't want to disturb this little guy just trying to soak up some sunlight. But yeah, this could be the mother or father of the snapping turtle. We never know. Let's hope that that baby will grow up to be just as big and healthy as this one. This turtle is basking in the sunlight, which is important to get vitamin D, just like us. This is what's called a giant American millipede. They're not that giant, but they're bigger than most millipedes you might find. I think I've made a video discussing the difference between centipedes and millipedes, but this time you can see it extra clearly. See, it has all these little segments on its body, and a millipede will have 2 legs per segment on its body, while a centipede will only have 1. So, if you get a clear shot of this, you can see its legs come in sets of 2, and there are 2 legs on each segment. This mushroom over here is called a blushing rosette. The reason why it's called that is because some have a more rose-shaped form that looks kind of like a flower, which is caused by a genetic mutation that this specimen doesn't have, but a lot of them do. It also blushes. You can see as I press on the flesh and damage it, it forms a bruising that is reddish-brown, like it's blushing. They also have these white, sort of irregular-shaped pores, and the upper side of the surface is brown, as shown here. And they secrete a red fluid called guttation, and I think more research needs to be done in order to find out what the purpose of that is. But yeah, this is the blushing rosette. It is not edible or anything. It's just beautiful in itself. So over here I'm approaching this log that's a very nice haven for all kinds of frogs and turtles. And as I get closer, you'll notice that the turtles and the frogs start jumping and swimming away. This is a normal reaction to have, a fear of humans, but this one stayed behind a little bit, which isn't normal. So let's go see what's up with that. So this over here is a painted turtle, which may look similar to another type of turtle called a red-eared slider, and I'll show you the differences between that. And you can see some more normal behavior of frogs running away. But red-eared sliders are called that because they have a red marking near where their ear would be. which this one doesn't. And it's called a painted turtle because it has little stripes on its head. But perhaps it might be harder to tell for this one because its head is inside of a shell. You can see that the top of the shell, which is called the carapace, is just a plain black without much markings, which is a sign of a painted turtle, which is kind of ironic because you'd expect a painted turtle to have a more intricate shell, but the red-edged slider has a more intricate shell. So that's one way to tell the difference. And just to show some the scale patterns on this, over here you look at the tail. The tail is pretty skinny, so that would tell you that this is probably a female turtle. And you can show it. Over on the bottom, this is called the plastron. You can see that there's some breaks in it, and that's a very serious injury. The shell is actually a bone, so that's probably very painful for her to walk or do anything, so she just sits on this log. So this poor little girl, she probably might have fallen off of the rocks or something, but I'm glad she was able to find a nice place to rest. So that's a female painted turtle. Over here is another turtle that this one also didn't make it. He was dead. I don't know what's up with this place. They keep killing turtles. But anyways, this is a adult male American bullfrog. You can see it briefly. He jumps away, but you can see that very large ear that he has behind his eye. And his head's poking up, so you can see it a little bit. And he also has that ridge behind his eye that wraps around his ear, telling you that it's a bullfrog. And then the large size of the ear will tell you that it's a male. So this is a healthy frog. He didn't fall into the curse that the turtles did fall into. Alright. Over here we have this log. Let's see what's underneath it. Oh, what a lovely rock under this log. Let's see. Maybe there's something under this rock. Oh, it's a toad. Alright, let's look at this. This is an American toad. They come in different colors. This one's pretty dark. But this one is a male. I can show you how to tell. If you look at the chin, the chinny chin chin. Alright, hang on, buddy. You can see that it's a little bit translucent, a little bit discolored from the rest of him. You can see kind of the colors of his mouth. This is because his chin, the skin on his chin is a thinner membrane than it would be on a female. Because he needs that to expand his chin and make noise. Only the males make noise. If this was a female, then the chin would be the same color as the rest of their belly. A more opaque white color. So this is a male American toad. Alright, lucky me. I found two more toads. Got this little guy here. And another adult. If I just pick her up, you can see the difference between a male and a female. If you look at this one's chin, just a second. You can see that her chin is just the same color as the rest of her body. So this is a female. Maybe she'll make her way over to the male. They could have some little babies. But yeah, here's a female American toad. Right, Brailley? Say hi. Brailley, look. There's the toad. Be scared. I think I've previously made videos on cramp balls that I found in some other woods down in the winter. They looked about like this, or like these smaller ones. But now you can see, nope, some more smaller ones. Now you can see that there's also bigger ones that have grown up. So the cool thing about these is if I take one and open it, you can see that there's little layers to it, little rings.
Let me put it in the sunlight.
You can see that there's rings inside, and I think it's believed that a new layer grows on top every year, so each ring is from a new layer, and you can tell how old it is by looking at the rings. But another thing to notice is that you look on the edge, there's like little spots that are discolored, like little holes on the edge. Those are little pockets where the spores are. They develop and then they shoot out. This is an ascomycete, and so the spores are kept in these little microscopic sacs that shoot out. There's no gills or pores or anything like that. But along the edges is where all the spores are kept, and this is the cramp ball. Over here we've got the deer mushroom, Pluteus cervinus. I think before I made a video about them, but the specimen was all rotten and full of fruit flies. But this one is a young specimen. Hopefully next time I will be able to get one of the middle age so you can see all the stages of development. But you can see he has this brownish cap that's growing on wood, and the gills are white at this stage of their life, and they're very close together, but they don't quite reach the stem. So as they mature, the gills are going to turn pinkish brown as the spores mature, and also the Pluteus cervinus has a very distinct smell that would tell me that it's a deer mushroom. Alright, over here is this patch of yellow mushrooms growing out of the ground, and if we pick one up, you can see that they have little flap-like gills that they kind of run down and kind of end. These are actually false gills, not real gills. So this is a chanterelle mushroom, which is a very choice edible. So lucky us today that we found this. Right, Brailley? All right. Over here we found these small brown mushrooms, which I believe is from the genus Gymnopileus. It's going to be hard to tell the exact species, but some characteristics of this genus are that they're brown mushrooms with little fuzzy caps, like a little bit fuzzy, not a lot. And then on the underside, they have brown gills, and they grow out of wood. The spores are going to be brown as well. I wasn't able to get a good spore print, but you could kind of tell by the color of the gills what color the spores might be. But yeah, I wanted to feature these because a lot of times when you Google, try to look up mushrooms like this, they'll classify them as little brown mushrooms, which are notoriously hard to identify. And they tell you don't even try because if you try to eat them, then you might mistake it and like get sick. However, I don't really like that because the only reason to identify mushrooms is not to eat them. You might just want to learn about them. So I want people to learn about all kinds of mushrooms, even if they're hard to identify. But for this one, my best guess is going to be that it's Gymnopileus, which means naked cap. So there's not much on the cap, just little hairs. And here's some younger ones that are just starting to grow. And that's all. I hope you enjoyed the video.